We are back online, separated.
Oh my God, I can't handle it. It's online, offline, online, in face. What
it's
is
like
this?
a temperamental relationship. It's like I don't know whether we are in love, not in love. Are we getting
I just can't carry on like this.
on?
I can't carry on like this. Something has to give. Something has to change.
Why? What's wrong with this relationship? I quite like the distance every now and then.
Yeah, innit? I think it's cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I'm coming or going. I've got things to plan. I've got,
You're mainly coming. You're mainly coming. We wish you were going, but you're not.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope he was going.
This is not how to maintain a relationship.
I actually like this setup because Kedge doesn't ring me if I'm away.
Yeah, so we should point out that's why we are away. That's why we are online. It's because Satch is away. So sorry, before we get to where you are and why you are, what happens when you're away? Kedge doesn't ring you. What does that mean?
Well, he rings me every day if I'm at home about something. If it's not work, it's about something else.
It's just,
It's like I feel like I'm his shrink sometimes.
Yeah, you are actually.
What kind of issues does he ask? Why don't you? Oh, sorry, he doesn't call me. So what kind of issues does he feel he can talk to you about?
Satch is never doing anything.
Oh, whatever, mate. No, I tell you what, Kedge knows when to call me because there's a point in my day where I'm out for a walk for 2 hours of my day, and he knows.
So
he
we
knows
can stop
exactly
recording it and adding garage tunes to it.
Basically.
Nice.
I mean, I should charge for that service.
But now, where are you now then, Satch?
I'm in Dubai, but I've got to say, I think it's been the hottest that it's ever been.
Satch, you look like that new emoji, which is the melting emoji.
Oh, I'm fully melting. Honestly, I came out of the airport this morning I think it was about 7:30. I came out to get a taxi. It was 35 degrees.
Beautiful. I love that.
At what time in the morning?
About 7:30, 7:45.
Oh, you just when you get like a little bit of sweaty jennies or boxers, it's brilliant.
It wasn't just a little bit of sweaty jennies or boxers. Mate, I was drenched walking from outside the terminal.
It's a beautiful feeling.
I was walking. It felt like I was walking into an oven.
Yeah.
Wow.
There is that tipping. There's that tipping point. Obviously, because I was in Dubai for that month last year for the T20.
Yeah.
There was one day in particular, I just changed hotels. To another hotel for this next sort of round of the tournament, and I had to just go get some stuff from the shop, because I wanted to kind of get some normal food and rather than always eating hotel food. And I walked 10 minutes. I remember, I don't know why I thought of Total Recall. There's one point where he's like pulling something out of his eye or out of his ear or out of his nose. You know that thing where he pulls that bullet thing, that chip. He's got that tracking device, and his head's like going and he's putting this thing massive, kind of what looks like a locket, the sweet, out of his nose. Remember that scene?
I do.
That's how I felt with the heat.
It's lethal actually. I remember when years ago we went, and my brother, we were crossing a bridge. We literally walked for 5 minutes crossing a bridge, and he collapsed. He was so hot.
Really?
Yeah. It does get quite militant, doesn't it?
It was very militant, the weather, but it was nice to be. It's been very nice to be, and it's to be fair, it's been a busy couple of days because where are we now? We're Tuesday night, as we always record this, and the last time I slept was I woke up Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Wow, so you're still going? You're running on empty now?
I'm still going, yeah. But I thought
keep your immune system strong, because I don't know if you've heard, but while you've been on the plane, COVID seems to have been, making a bit of a comeback. It is.
No,
really?
But I mean, come on. I've said it for the past 3 weeks now. I've had COVID on the podcast.
Well, because you might have, and I think maybe I have as well.
I think you have as well, and I've been saying that to you.
Because I had a cold for a week and a few days, and it's never taken me that long to get rid of a cold. I can normally knock out in a couple of days, but this was non-stop.
What about the cold?
Yeah, well, that as well. And it was just non-stop, like just bogies coming out of my nose. It was ridiculous. Just mucus and phlegm.
Just clarify. If you're going to use that terminology, get it right. Bogies don't come out your nose. Snot runs out your nose.
Okay, snot then. Snot.
Bogies
it's
are
a combination.
The post effect.
Yes.
It's a combination though.
Bogies stay there when they're not welcome. They just take up a little area. They're basically squatters in your nose.
Yeah,
right. I was talking about more of the liquid fluid.
At the end of the party, just hanging around. At the end of the party, they're like, just go now.
Yeah,
they're just waiting for their Uber. They're waiting for their Uber. hovering around, still drinking, still chatting. So
right.
my point,
I'm talking about the Desies who just rock up at your party and just keep on coming, and going, keep on coming and going. That's what my snot felt like. I couldn't stop it.
Just for the free
boxes
food
of tissue. Yeah, and it was like, and you know what? So COVID is back like massively in France, and France is very close to England, as we all know. And I just think it's only around the corner. Well, just in case if people have forgotten the geographical map. But I was just like, it's coming again. It just feels like everyone's ignoring things, and they're just living life normally. Everyone's going out, and it's why would it have disappeared? Like who decides it just disappears like that?
And just to add to that point, an observation from the plane. Obviously, they say to you before you step on board. I flew with Emirates. Just before you step on board, sir, where's your mask? Sir or madam, where's your mask? Put your mask on before you get into your seat.
They didn't care, did they?
Put your mask on. But then when you're in your seat, you can lower it. So if it's just around your chin, it's fine.
Yeah. I can't.
And no one pulls you up. Oh, no, but I did it for a bit as well, I think. Because
mate.
No, do you know what it was? I had a really bad cold, and as I said, it feels like I've got COVID, but I couldn't breathe.
No, yeah, you can't. Sometimes you just get, like I said, it's warm, it's air conditioning on the plane. You can't get a proper bit of air. Well, okay, so I had a little theory last week, Kedge. It started when you said to me, "Oh, I've not had a cold in years, and I've got this cold." And we all went, "You got COVID, you got COVID." You went, "No, I've done the test. It's not COVID."
Yeah,
and correct. I thought this, but I never said it. So now I'm going to say what I was thinking at the time, which is, hey, who's to say you haven't got COVID, but you've got a variant, but this variant doesn't get picked up on the tests. And therefore, rather than tell the world again, there's another variant of this thing, which is crippling to the economy, which is stopping the world, which is crushing businesses and people
you have to
and mental health
for days and all of that palaver.
And listen, I get it. I get that COVID is bad. It's had different effects on different people, and some people have lost their lives. But they're probably thinking someone higher up is going, you know what, around the COVID. No, don't say that word anymore. You go, no, it's not COVID. It's just this cold. It's just a version of a cold that's going around. So I got a theory that there is something going around, but it's being kind of covered up as being made out to be just a cold, because not just you, Kedge, loads of other people in the last week or so around me have been saying they're sick, they're coldy, they're fevery. Oh,
so many people coughing like tar from the throat. It's just this.
That's not coughing, bruv. If you're doing tar, you're doing something else.
Sounds like a Bollywood film.
Yeah, isn't that a singer? Oh, that's Tasha Tar.
No. Yeah, no, but it's just non-stop tar in your face, and you're just like, God, this is just germ central now. And I'm telling you, the air conditioning at work killed me as well, because do you remember when when we were doing the breakfast show? And we knew that if you get the flu, if you're ill, it's a long road to recovery, because you're doing that early shift, not enough sleep routine for 5 days until the weekend where you get a chance to rest. So you are under it.
And not only that, there's three of you in a room, and a soundproof, airtight, noise-proof room.
Yeah,
so
circulating
all those germs are gonna pass. So I'll get over it, pass it to Satch. Satch will pass it on to you. You'll get over it, pass it back to me. Honestly, it's like playing catch.
And it doesn't help that Tommy doesn't cover his nose when he sneezes as well in the studio.
Yeah, so it's straight over.
It doesn't help that your nostrils are 3 times the size of an average human being. So when you sneeze, you take my legs out.
And that was before I started doing the breathing exercises.
Yeah,
and to be fair, it was sort of thinking about the studio. I swear Tommy was the one that always used to complain that the vent used to hit his bald head.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
Remember, it was above his head.
I have days when I can feel the air conditioning more. You know, like you're just like, that's going down my neck. That's going down my neck. I can feel the breeze getting and other days it doesn't affect me.
And I've got to say, that was me yesterday, because as soon as I stepped on the plane, for some reason, whoever sat in my seat, all the vents were open, the nostrils, all three of them.
Why didn't you shut them?
I did. That was the first thing I did. And I got to my seat before the other 2 people turned up in my row. Yeah. And I turned them all off. I was like, I ain't having this.
Satch, can I just say something? Every time you go on a plane, it just feels like you're always moaning about it. Like,
it's a bad experience.
Why is it that people don't know? It feels like people don't know how to fly on a plane. No, what's been your observations this week?
Well, I think this week the biggest thing was, number one, we were at Gatwick, and we were, it was a busy flight. There was not a single seat spare. Yeah. So a fella got on in front of me, maybe about 2 rows in front of me, started kicking off saying, who's put their bag in that overhead locker that's above my seat? And I was like, bruv, who does that? Like, just put your bag somewhere else. Like, you know where it is.
That's allowed. It's first come, first served.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You stick it in the first hole you see.
Exactly.
It's
your bag.
It's orgy rules. Orgy rules.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, stick it whatever hole you can see.
And he was like, you could hear him raising his voice, and he was getting a bit fresh with the people like on the plane. And I was just like,
Asian brother.
Yeah, it was an Asian guy. And I was just like, why are you? This is
how old?
Oh no, he was old and he had kids and stuff.
Yeah, but Tommy's got kids. How old are we talking about?
But Tommy would behave like that.
So what? 50, 60?
No, I'd probably say about 45.
Oh, so Tommy's age.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I was like, who does this?
Yeah. You know what I always find when someone does that though, bruv, and I'm telling you, please, this is a wise bit of words here. There's something deeper going on in their life. And you got to watch out because those people might kill you. So
and that same brother in the queue when we were checking in was kicking off with someone else as well. Same guy.
See, he's having a bad day. Something else is going on.
No, he just wasn't a bad day.
What would you say his name was if you had to guess?
Oh, I wouldn't know what his name.
What did he look like? Was he Gujarati or Punjabi?
He's going to be one of the two. If he's complaining, he's got to be one of the two.
No, he wasn't. I think he was probably Bangladeshi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They don't complain. They should know better. They're very quiet, like kind, soft people. So I'm surprised at that. I thought it was going to be a Punjabi ego type person, or it'd be a Gujarati that just thinks they're better than everyone else.
Like, it was just from because every the way I look at it is like you meet the people that are on your flight in the check-in queue, and if everyone's queuing up, like all 300 of you are in the queue, and one brother's kicking off. He kind of sets the tone for himself. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's just thinking this guy's a bit of a plonker. And then you see that fella on the plane and you're like, I hope I'm nowhere near him. And he's still going for it, like, still kicking off. Had something was wrong with his COVID test, all of these documents didn't match up, all of this kind of stuff. And I was just like, what is this guy doing? Like, what? Why?
Yeah. Why have you not been on a plane before?
Well, I don't think he had.
See, not a good day. And
so
it does. I've got a theory though.
And I've got to say about him, it just felt like bad energy from the very beginning.
I know what you mean. So I've got a theory about this with Satch. If you notice, Satch does not like mixing with people, right? And it's always struck me as no, you don't. Masses of people.
You don't like a mass.
And being exposed to them, you don't like it, right? Any kind, football, the pubs, he'd rather just do it on a small key vibe and just have it, the telly on at home, go to a game somewhere like, in a more controlled comfort zone, whatever. But I reckon it's because the DJ in you. The DJ booth allows you to feel like you're part of it, but you're safe. You got your little security booth.
Yeah. No one's allowed it.
When Satch's on a train and he's getting stopped by police or he's getting arrested, all that kind of stuff that goes on.
He's kulla in the open.
He's too exposed. So you're like a celebrity. You're like a Kardashian. You want to be among the people, but actually you're a little bit of a diva and you want to be kept separate as well.
A little bit at the distance. He just wants to have that, like how the Pope rolls out in that sort of shield around him.
Satch. Yeah.
It was just bad energy. It was bad energy. And can I say, it was a busy flight, and I just about fell asleep. I think I slept for maybe 45 minutes. All of a sudden, a few rows behind me, big hoo-ha. Someone fell over in the aisle.
What do you mean they fell over?
I should laugh, but it won't.
No, you should. You should absolutely.
Because an aisle is a narrow place to fall over.
How do you fall over?
That's a trip. How
do you fall over in the aisle? That's so brilliant.
I was asleep and I heard a thud and it woke me up and I was just looking around.
Also with the lights off. With the lights off in the cabin. Lights off.
Then all of a sudden all the lights came on. Big
and the lights came on. I'm crying.
Who's lying there? Who's lying on the floor as the lights come on?
Were they on the floor?
Someone's body all mangled up in between.
Someone must have got their foot stuck in.
Yeah. In a chadar, in a kambal. You get caught up in a bit of a kambal.
I actually think it was. And all I saw was an oxygen tank got brought out.
How did the oxygen thing?
I shouldn't
Did
be
they
laughing.
lift their hands up before?
I shouldn't be laughing, but I didn't know whether it was real life or a dream. I don't know what was going on.
I love people falling
I've
over.
got
I don't know
tears
what
in
it
my
is.
eyes.
People fall over, and I love it when people take ages to fall over as well. When they're like stumbling around,
My
and the
stomach
thought
is
of,
hurting. It's
yeah,
hurting.
the thought of someone coming down the aisle going, just falling into the gap in front.
Did you help them? Did you help them? Did you look round?
Kedge, I was fast asleep. It was in the other aisle on the other side, that sort of behind me, about 4 rows away. And all of a sudden, there was just hysteria. It was just loads of people crowding around this fella, and
Was he okay?
The steward came over that does the first aid and all of this kind of jazz.
My
And
God.
I legit thought, when I saw an oxygen tank come out, I thought the plane's going to get diverted and I'm not going to make Dubai. Do you know that those kind of things go through your head, right?
Yeah. You're half
Did he use the oxygen? Did anyone use the oxygen? Because I need some now.
The fella on the floor.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, it was.
It was a guy. It was a guy then.
It was a fella. Yeah. So it was quite
Was it
a young
the same
dude.
guy? Was it the moody guy?
No, it wasn't the moody guy. It was quite a young dude. But I mean, I don't know. I was half asleep, so I didn't really know what was happening.
I love it. It's crowds, it's people, it's getting out there. I'm telling you, there's a lot of joy in that. And by the way, out and about.
Well, no, I just want to go to that. Sorry, I just think maybe he had the wrong footwear on, and that's why he might have tripped over. And that basically is what I want to talk about this week. And it's just something that I just think, you know what, I've noticed it a lot recently at work. And because we are in the midst of our summer and this heat wave that we've had, passing, it's gone a little bit cooler recently, last couple of days. But for some reason, and it is really bugging me, but people coming into work are wearing flip-flops.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And honestly,
What's the problem?
No.
You shouldn't be wearing them in the office.
Flip-flops are for holiday.
Yes.
Not for the office. You can wear them on the way to the office. Let's just say on the train, whatever. If you need your toes out and all of this kind of stuff for
no. You don't need your toes out. Put them away.
Well, no, but it's the summer and women, whatever, they like it, painting nails and all of that. That's fine. Oh, and some men. Well, oh my God, men in flip flops. But I'm just saying, what makes you? Yeah, Tommy. But what makes you want to wear flip flops to work?
Tommy's a sandal fella, by the way.
Tommy and his Jesus sandals. But you can get nice sandals, do you know what I mean? But having flip-flops, Havianas or whatever they are, and just tapak in the office, it's a professional environment. Why are you walking in flip-flops? Every manager needs to, if you own a business, ban this summer. Let's just knock it on his head.
You can't do that.
Why? It's unprofessional.
What does professional mean? How does what someone was on their feet? What's that got to do with their job?
Would you wear that if you were in a senior meeting with your big boss at your workplace? No. That is holiday clothing. I would not go there with my skimpy shorts into work, would I? No.
You got skimpy shorts?
Yeah, in the summer, when you're on holiday, you get your.
Kedge, there is nowhere on the world you should be in skimpy shorts. Nowhere, no part of, unless it's fancy dress night and you're going as Kylie Minogue in "I Should Be So Lucky."
But you know what I mean?
You should be wearing it.
Men and women flip flops. No, you can get nice sandals. You can get whatever it is.
No. Just don't get your feet
I know
out.
Satch is against the whole getting your feet out, but in the summer it's acceptable. It's fine.
Would
they
you
need
do
to be
it?
tanned.
Would you do it?
What? I just don't wear sandals. So that's the end of that.
That's it. This is your problem. Both of you boys have got an issue with raw, exposed feet. See, I don't have an issue with that. I'm fine with it.
No, I don't mind if
you want to cook them.
I don't have much. Yeah, make them slightly tender. I don't have a problem if other people have got their feet out in nice sandals or open toe heels or whatever you call them, wedges and stuff. But I just think flip flops with the thong or between your toe is a wrong thing. is a wrong thing for a workplace, and bosses need to outlaw this. People, if you're going into work, don't do it.
You sound prudish. You sound dated. Honestly, I think you're being old school. You're like, because you're judging someone now by their footwear. You're making
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that should be not allowed. It's just not. It's not the right thing.
You are judging it then. So what is the right thing? Covered up feet. Covered up feet make someone
decent footwear.
What is decent? So you're making a judgment there.
Flip flop is for the beach, Lalu. How can you walk around? How can you walk around in flip flops in Canary Wharf?
Can you imagine Kedge as your boss? Hele, flip flop is for the beach, Lalu. Stop.
I can't imagine Kedge as a boss actually.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Anyway, so that was my thing this week. That it was probably, the reason why that guy fell over is probably because he was walking around in flip-flops. Anyway.
Maybe.
Yeah, could have done. See, and that's why, as I always say, when you're on a plane, you should go barefoot. Wherever you're walking to, just go in those travel socks.
I saw so many of them walking into the toilet barefoot. And I was like, I went into the toilet a couple of times. I was like, whoever comes in there with no shoes.
I would have just sprinkled some water on the floor just for the sake of it.
Oh, no, Kedge, that's mean. Like, there's no need to do that. But I'm just
doing
thinking,
that next time.
When I saw them come out barefoot, I just judged them, and I thought, you've no care in the world.
Those barefooted people are the kind of people who are going to then climb over your seat, your handle, put your feet on all of that, so you're just completely stained and covered. Anyway,
speaking of putting your feet up, Kedge, why have you got your knee in the shot? Because I did see your knee.
The knee was in the shot because I have some knee issues at the moment in my training regime for my marathon.
What's wrong with your knee issue?
It's known as runner's knee. It means I've slightly overdone it with the running, and so therefore you get this pain in your knee.
Put your knee across a bit. See, look, that looks a bit like Tommy's head.
Nice and smooth.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Is it a sausage? Is it Tommy's head, or is it Kedge's knee, or is it a cream egg? But what I'm trying to say is, so I'm just suffering.
You should put a picture of my face on your kneecap.
Yes,
just draw it on. So that's why. So excuse the odd knee lifting every now and then. Okay, but Tommy, where were you? Because you were out this week. You were out and about.
I'm out all the time. And actually, got comedy nights this weekend. I'm doing a dance show this weekend. Last weekend, it was India Day in Milton Keynes. Right?
Just Milton Keynes, or?
No, just Milton Keynes. They were celebrating their India Day. Basically, they got some funding from the local council. There's loads of Indians. I didn't really realize. I haven't done any comedy shows or many things in Milton Keynes. And there's a wicked park, Campwell Park.
Yes,
and
nice.
Campbell Park. I've been there.
Yeah, Campbell Park. That's it. And it was beautiful. Beautiful park. Huge. And so they took over that for India Day. I realized in Milton Keynes, massive South Indian community. Right, because basically what they did as part of this India Day is they had on some local kind of community acts. They did like a parade, and they did a nice parade of all the different states of India. So they went through the states and kind of, they had Rajasthan, Punjab, Gujarat. Send you the Gujarat one. Did you see what I did? Especially for you boys.
You gave me and Satch a shout out on stage.
I don't know why you did
on the stage.
Yeah,
because
I know.
Gujarat
did anyone care? Yeah, but did anyone care? They were like, why are you shouting at two random lalus?
Exactly. Because everyone was so pumped and excited. There were 14,000 people in the park. Because the weather was good.
Wow. They heard your name and everyone was like, he's here.
Yeah. So, and I filmed it and I just sent it to these boys, just kind of go, and coming up next, a state that's known for this, and this, right? This one's for you, Kejulbhai and Sachin. It's Gujarat. And the place erupted and you saw them coming up. So basically they had a parade of all these different dances and different symbolism. It was great. But when I got there, they were serving, before when everyone's getting set up and the food stands are being set up. And I'm looking at the food stands, I'm thinking, okay, there's pizza, there's chicken curry, there's paneer, there's
I'm sorry,
kebabs.
but you can't be going to India Day and having pizza.
No, but there was desi pizza. It was like a desi pizza place. So
okay.
I didn't actually have it in the end, but it was all like spicy paneer pizzas and flavored up like that. So, but I didn't have that. I went with a chicken and rice. Then I went back for a paneer and rice. And then I had some other little snacks and stuff here and there, just some fruit. But they had this food, and I don't know what it is. So I'm going to throw this out there now. They look like, okay, my mum used to work on the sewing machine back in the day. And part of what she used to do, she used to like make, like women's office wear and things like that. So I saw all the pieces of material and things that they used to put in. Basically, this bit of breakfast food that they were serving out for all the crew and staff looked like shoulder pads. It was like little foam shoulder pads. It was about 1 inch thick, about the size of, let's say, the palm of my hand. Yeah,
what
you know
state, what state was it from?
What colour?
Like no. It was like I don't know. It was like a foam, like a white foam colour.
What was it?
Yeah, desi food, and it was served up with like a bowl of porridge.
White?
What looked like white porridge. Like
that's coconut. That's coconut chutney. I think I know what he's on about.
You're talking about idli.
Am I? I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Was
I think
it
he
like
is.
flying saucer shaped?
Was it like an Asian breast implant?
Yes, I did think that. I thought they could. Yes, you know what? I didn't want to say. I remember thinking something. It looks like little silicone bags.
Yeah, it's a little breast implant.
Just your mummy up a little bit.
That's idli, and that's coconut chutney. There was sambar with it? Oh my!
Yeah. Chuck a bit of dal over it. Chuck a little bit.
I've never even heard of coconut chutney.
Coconut chutney is game changer.
Coconut chutney is a game changer.
I mean, you haven't lived if you haven't eaten coconut chutney. Oh my God!
Butters, mate.
No,
that's like a runny. That's like a runny bounty.
No, well, yeah, but it's nice and it's got a nice bit of texture in it, but it can be quite spicy. It can be slightly green as color as well. You can add coriander to it. It's brilliant with idli. So they had idli for breakfast, steamed idli. It's rice cakes. It's beautiful.
That's it.
South India. Yeah, that's it. Did they have sambar with it, like the dal? Was it like the dal?
It was a big tray of those breast implants.
Yeah.
And a big bowl of what looked like kheer.
How dare you? There must be some
Orangey
South Indian grandfather who invented the idli and is now probably turning in his grave because you're calling it breast implants. They're beautiful. They are beautiful. But I will try them actually
Which
next
ones?
time. Them down
the idli. Okay.
I will try putting down my top just to see what they look like.
Yeah.
Oh, you're missing out.
I should have done that. You know that. I should have just had them on stage and pulled them out.
You pulled them out down your top, Kedge, and I'll pull the dal down.
All right. Let's not get kinky about it.
It could be like an exotic restaurant. You could
Let's not live out Satch's fantasy now.
Yeah. You know, like you get those sushi places where you can eat sushi off of the model woman.
Satch just wants to pour some bar down my chest.
There you go. That's a calendar.
Each their own.
People pay for this.
That's what was being served up. It was a wicked day.
You know, did you try it though, Tommy? Did you try it?
No. No.
You know what? You can also fry the idli as well, and then put a bit of chili powder on it. It's beautiful. Next time.
That tastes nice. It goes crispy.
Yeah, it goes crispy.
Crispy.
It's like a cracker. It's like a big prawn cracker then.
No,
I don't know how to explain it. It's still kind of soft in the middle, but
if something is soft and then crispy, you need to make your mind up. Are you going to go crazy?
It's not soft. It's not soft, but it's beautiful.
Imagine chili paneer, but you swap the paneer for the idli.
Yeah.
Basically, is what it is.
No, I'd stay with chili paneer.
No, you got to
try swap anything.
It's
I'm not sure.
Wicked.
I'm not sure. It didn't look great. It was all a bit like plain coloured and all that. But anyway, it was a great event. Good to be there and good to be out and about. The only thing that always concerns me a little bit is it was like festival toilets. There was festival the backstage.
Well, and also that weekend, because obviously, like you said, all of India was in Milton Keynes and the rest of England was in Glastonbury. So there was a lot of toilet festivalage going on, wasn't there?
Just speaking of desi toilets, you reminded me of something. A couple of weeks ago, I was DJing somewhere, and there's a company that actually hires out toilets. Like, if you're doing a party in your garden or something.
Yeah.
The company is called Desi Toilets.
Oh yeah, because they come and just knock out a little hole in your garden.
Yeah,
I thought that because when I opened the door and I had a look in there, it was a proper portaloo,
Portaloo with a hole.
But it was like a proper, Western
sitting.
Yes, it was a sitting one, but it just the name threw me when I saw it. Desi Toilets.
Well, why not? I mean, you got Desi Skips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why not have Desi Toilets?
Why not have a little?
But I mean, Tommy, I think you're in dangerous territory when you're eating all of that kind of jazz and you're on stage.
No, I didn't eat all of that other jazz. I stuck to the chicken and rice and the paneer rice. You're right, there is a danger, but I was fine. I think my body just closed up. Like, listen, this isn't a safe place. Nothing's happening until we're out of here. So there was no danger. But in things like that, it's the problem with those little portaloo things is there's no toilet roll. There was
there's never any toilet paper in there.
Yeah. And so that always scares me. And by the way,
who goes outside for a number 2? I mean, that is again the fundamental, issue there. If I have it on the train every morning on the overground train, right? There's someone who has to visit the toilet on a train at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Hang on a minute. Why are you watching them?
Because normally where I sit is next to the toilet because it's normally quite empty around there.
I would never sit in the toilet.
It's not opposite. It's nearby. But there's always people who go to the toilet at 6. I'm like, but you've just left your house. Why have you not dealt with this at home? And what makes you comfortable to drop one?
That's me.
On a moving train?
That's me. I can not only that. I can. You know what? I'll be honest. I can go anywhere. I could go right now.
We know you can. We know you can, Tommy.
We know you can.
So it's no problem. You know me on the radio show. Lata Mangeshkar songs, 8 minutes long, 2 of them back to back. That's 16 minutes. Yep. I could take a newspaper. So I remember.
I used to play 3 songs back to back.
Yeah. And then I have to go and look for him.
By the way, I never appreciated getting a text. How much longer are you going to be? Because you can't rush me. You can't rush the process. How much I'm going to be as long as I'm going to be. And sometimes
you can't put time on it.
Yeah, and you go, come on, bruv.
Kedge was that guy. He did come looking for you while I was just handling business.
To play the music, and I have to go around looking for which toilet has he gone into first.
No,
and then I have to say,
Tommy. It's a bit like blind date.
You can't rush the ending of it. It's nature. So when it ends, it ends. And you'd come along trying to force along. Anyway,
again,
but I don't want to get into the crudeness of it all, but I want to mention the story actually on that note, because work toilets, school toilets, this might trigger memories to do with all your kind of toilets, I saw a story about a woman from Manchester. This is in a Manchester newspaper. And she said she had to, obviously everyone's got to make cutbacks. And one of the expensive things that you buy from the supermarket is expensive toilet roll.
Yes.
So she swapped it for the eco toilet roll, which is made from recycled paper. And this is from Morrison's, by the way. And she bought it, she took it home. She gave her chitter a good wipe. And she basically said it was like exfoliating her chitter. She said she hurt the skin and she had to put ice cubes, and she felt like she needed to grab an ice lolly in between there to soothe the pain.
God.
So
she put a Solero up there.
Yeah, and it was basically
don't waste the ice cream.
Mini milk, little mini milk.
Who says she wasted it? You can put a little chocolate nut there. No. So my point is though, the paper was too rough for a backside. The backside's got too used to the good stuff and she couldn't handle it. And I thought, how bad can that paper have been? Because if you're from our generation, Kedge, then you'll remember the tracing paper.
Yes.
Toilet school.
Oh, no. I remember that. We had that.
You remember that as well?
Yeah, it just came in a little box and you pull one piece of tracing paper out.
Yeah, and it was like angry paper.
Yeah.
Angry. I thought you would have
if you folded it, it would create a real sharp edge, wouldn't it?
Oh my.
Yeah, it was like a guillotine. Guillotine.
Yeah.
Guillotine, that's the word. That is the word.
And not only that, it had like a gloss to it, so it would slip. It would be a slippy paper.
Yeah, because sometimes you would take that back into your classroom and then you can cut it up and use a bit of glue and then stick it onto your arts and craft project, couldn't you? And no one would know.
Christmas decorations,
yeah. It was Christmas decoration. It would shimmer.
Yeah, so it just made me think. I like nice toilet roll. That's the thing.
I'm not cutting back. I'm not cutting back on anything else. I'm struggling with this, the smart meter and everything being so expensive, but I'm still buying the premium level Andrex.
Look at you.
People are choosing heating over eating, but when it comes to your sheeting, you're keeping it as it is. Okay,
as it is.
But it's funny that, because I think a couple of weeks ago I did see something about how Amazon have launched their own toilet paper, and basically I buy a toilet roll off Amazon, like not Amazon one, Andrex. Yeah, Andrex, the good stuff.
Why do you buy it from Amazon?
Because they just have good deals on some days. So you see it, you're like, okay, cool.
Look at that, with a deal on.
Yeah, of course. You just, I mean, if I see something at a good price, I'll just buy it because it's going to get used, right?
Yeah, true.
But
it's good shout.
But like, I saw that Amazon have actually got their own, and I thought, do I swerve from our usual brand and try this, or what do I do? And then I thought, because I'm a bit worried about Amazon and their reviews as well. I think they're a bit biased.
Fake
on certain products. Yeah.
Well, they can't be. They'll get robbed if they did.
I mean, they do.
But I do go by the review. If I see like something's got 2,000 reviews, I'm like, sold. If it's good enough for 2,000 other people.
But some of them said, it's like tracing paper, and I was like, well, I ain't going near that then. It ain't your good stuff like your, was it Cushell or Andrex?
Yeah.
Or what?
Andrex,
what else?
I've never used anything. I don't know anything else apart from Andrex.
Oh,
really? Okay. I will go with the deal, but I want the good paper. I want a quilted-y thing. I couldn't handle the rough stuff. I don't know what it is. I'm too sensitive. But actually, talking to Amazon, have you been into one of those Amazon Freshes yet?
No, I haven't.
No, I've seen one. I haven't been in.
Yeah,
I went in.
Been past
I made my first visit, and I nearly filmed it because I thought this is a moment in history.
Where was it?
So actually, it was in Chingford, which is not far from where I live. I was there. There's a nice big field and golf course there. I was going for a run, and I was going along the high road because I need to get some money out from the little ATM. And actually, I'm gutted because I went to the Tesco, and I went in. I got a drink, and I came out, and I was just walking off my run, and I passed the Amazon Fresh. I was like, I wish I'd just come here. So I walked in, and there's a guy stood in the lobby.
How'd you get in?
Right. So it's just sliding. Okay. So this is exactly it. So I went in. I thought, I've heard so much about Amazon, these Amazon Fresh stores, because if anybody doesn't know, these Amazon Fresh supermarkets, you don't have to pay directly for anything. You just pick things up and walk out.
Go in.
And I was like, right, I need to know how this all works. So I went in, doors open. There's a bloke stood there. I went, all right. And I'm all excited. I got that grin on my face. I went, it's my first time. And he went, all right. He goes, are you registered with Amazon? I said, yep, I'm with Amazon. I'm with Amazon Prime. Like, all my card details are linked to it. He went, great. He goes, go to the Amazon app. I went, yep. Stood there. And I had to pick Milo up in about 15 minutes, right? So I'm going there. Go to Amazon. He goes, right, now do this. Now go to this bit. Now register here. Okay, now type in the details. Oh, okay, now come out and type in fresh code in this box. You know when he takes your phone, he starts typing things in. Another person who's taken my phone. And he types
things in. Here we go. For me, 2 weeks in a row.
Fresh code. Did that. Oh, not working. I went, oh, hold on. There's no signal. Let me just step outside the store just to get a bit more signal and get this code to go through. And he went, right. Came back in. No, it's not worked. He goes, step back outside and do it again. Step back outside and do it again. Now 4 or 5 minutes have passed. And I'm thinking,
they left.
Honestly, I was running out of patience. And then people are coming before me. People are coming while I'm there. And they are scanning this QR code on their phone through the little gates to go on in. But the gates can only let in one person at a time. So you've got to scan it, one person in. Scan it, one person in. So already I'm looking at that thinking, that doesn't work. When you're with your family, how do you do that with little kids?
Such a long process.
Exactly. Then eventually, literally 10 minutes later, I got it all I got the app working. It was a signal issue mainly, but it was then working. And he goes, right, now this QR code, you scan this to go in. And I went, right. And how does it know that I've picked up stuff? And he went, look up at the ceiling, and there's all these little black boxes. It was like something out of the future. These little, like, I tell you what it reminded me of. You know those sensors you get in fancy car parks, like at Westfield, whatever, when you know there's a car park there or not. It looked like those, all running along in the kind of gridded ceiling. And he goes, that is reading everything that's moving. So anything it moves, it picks up.
So say if you pick it up, you've got it, and then you put it back down, does it know? It knows you put it.
It knows you put it back down as well. It's got.
That's good, isn't it?
It's super sensitive, right? And I went, right.
So say if you pick up something expensive and you replace it with something cheap, and you walk out.
No, it doesn't matter. These sensors. All I got from him was these sensors are, and there are loads of them everywhere. They're reading everything. And I went, right, and we did all that. 10 minutes later, he goes, right. He goes, there's your QR code. On you go. I said, I've got to go. So I turned around and walked back out. I didn't even go in through the barriers. I just turned around because I ran out of time. I was like, I've been here 10 minutes. And also, I was like, the fun's gone. This should have been a lot quicker. I should have got in. Yeah. But I'm genuinely excited by the thought of just going in, picking something up, and walking out. That's going to feel strange. But that was my first visit. Wasn't great. I'm sure it's not always like that. And we are available for sponsorship with Amazon Prime and Amazon of any kind. We'll take a little bit of their money if they want to show us again. But it's coming. Future is coming.
And their Prime Day's coming up. I thought I slipped that in.
Well, hello.
Do you know what I mean? What are you guys? Are you guys actually sponsored by Amazon or something? Who cares?
Well, not really, because you can't get in the shop.
Yeah, that's true.
So a bit of a flop for Amazon, but someone who's not flopping, who's definitely not flopping, is a young man called Craig. Craig at McDonald's. Okay,
Craig?
And I think, look, I am.
Is this another one who's taken your phone?
No, he's here right now. Craig, he's moved in. No, he's there.
Oh, okay.
Right, no, this is so. I'm always I like if there's a chance to complain, I will complain, right?
Yes.
And it's like I will give feedback, and I don't complain, I don't get heated, I don't kick off, I don't do that, but I will just go take the manager aside, or take something and go, look, this isn't on. And often,
Tommy's that guy on the plane that I encountered.
You won't. If I complain, nobody else would know about it, because also if I'm going to get something out of it, I don't want that word spreading out and about, right? So I kind of keep that low key. It's always the best way to do things, and you'll get way more out of it. Anyway, so if there's something to complain about, I'll complain. So if there's something to praise about, I should be just as vocal about it. And this is a praise story, right? So I'm in McDonald's, and I like to have a double cheeseburger without the bun, okay?
Which is so weird, as people have just heard it. They've just gone, what? Say it again, Tommy.
You don't need the bread. You don't need the bread. I don't want the bread.
So what is it? Just 2 bits of meat and a bit of cheese in the middle?
And the sauce. And the sauce and the gherkin and the onions. So you can almost using the burger as the holder of it. But why is that unearthing? You know what?
Weird. That is weird.
That's how Naomi Campbell and Kate Moss have their burgers. So I think you'll find it works. Well, it works for the best of us.
So what do you want to do? You want to look like that? You want to walk down the ramp?
What do you mean I want to look like that? I think I already do. I think I'm the male version of them, obviously. She's my hero. Anyway,
mate, you're more Sol Campbell.
But
that's the finishing move. That's just shut down.
I've got nothing to say to that.
There's no comeback after that.
No, Naomi Campbell, you're more Sol Campbell. Oh man. Okay, hold on. My point is this: so many times when I order it, and I think so many times, and I order it loads. I think I probably had, say, in my life, 100 McDonald's double cheeseburgers without the bun. Right? Literally, I've had 100.
So it's 2 patties with some gherkins, onions. Ketchup.
You know everything that goes inside the bun. It's that without the bun. That's all it is.
They must think. Look at this guy from India. Look at this.
So say if you got the normal burger, Tommy, does it still go in that same order, or did the onions go above the meat?
You've hit the nail on the head, Satch. You're asking all the right questions. This is why I like you. The other one, Ted, not so sure. But
there's no point to it.
Okay.
No, because
can I have the chips without the skin on it, please? I find the bread bloats me. All right, if I'm honest, I find the bread bloats me, and the burger bit doesn't.
That's it. Then he's got to use that tracing paper toilet roll. It's all happening.
Exactly right. So my point is exactly that. So and by the way, if you order a double cheeseburger on its own, they put the cheese at the bottom, so the bottom bit of bread sticks to the cheese. So you can't just take the bread off because you lose a slice of cheese. So you have to order it without the bun. When you order it at the bun, you know you're waiting, and if you're waiting, you know it's being made fresh. So then you're going to get a nice hot burger, right? But what order does it go in? I'm not sure of the official order, but I do know cheese goes at the bottom of a double cheeseburger because hence it sticks to the bun when the bun is there. However, so many times, I would say 70 out of 100 times that I've had it, they've built the burger put into a little box for you, and they put the cheese at the bottom.
So it sticks to the container.
So it sticks to the cardboard container, and then you know how lame you feel scraping the cheese off the bottom of a dabba to get it back onto a burger.
How lame you feel just eating that when you pull that out of the box. Everyone's looking at you like, what is this? What are you doing?
No, when I do eat it without the bun, and I see people looking over, I see them looking at me thinking, that guy knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy.
I get paranoid.
He's having it without the bun.
I get paranoid eating a cheeseburger without the meat in it. This is next level.
See, me and you are balanced, kid. See, we're opposites. So I should give you my bun. You can just have the bread, and I'll have the filling. This is it. This is why we get on, and this is why we don't get on.
Tommy, you give him your buns, and Ked will give you his meat.
Your meat.
Yeah,
perfect. That's exactly what it is.
I'll take my meat out of your buns, and then you can just watch us nibble on them, Satch. Right? But my point is, hold a minute. My point is, so exactly that. When they put it in, when they make it in the dabba for me, they should do burger at the bottom, all the cheese and sauce and stuff in the middle, and then the other bit of burger on top. So you use the burger as a little gripper for it all.
But surely that's the correct way to do it if someone doesn't want a bun.
Yeah, but because these guys are trained to maybe make it with the cheese at the bottom, they just copy the same format, and they don't think that with a hot burger on top of it, the cheese is going to melt to the bottom. I know. And it's quite frustrating. And only once or twice I've complained. Other than that, I just get on with it. I think, oh, whatever. I can't bother to go back and wait even longer. However, Craig from this McDonald's I was at this week built it beautifully. And not only was everything all nice in the middle, but it was nicely stacked up and neatly placed inside the dabba. And I had it, maybe I was just really hungry, and it was perfect and it was hot. And I went over to the till and I said, excuse me, I asked for a burger without the bun. Yeah. And I said, who was it that made it? I called the manager over. I said, who was it that made it? And they, you know what? 6 people, all of a sudden, all those people, you know, that stack up all the food by the cook and the fries and all that. They all stopped what they're doing. The people buy the milkshakes and the coffee, because now I think that they thought I was going to kick off.
Yeah.
So they've all stopped and they've all looked around. All the other customers waiting by that number system, you know, like at Argos, when you wait for your number to come up, they're all waiting for their number to collect their food. They're all looking at me, and they went, let me see your receipt. Looked at the receipt and he went, oh, that was Craig. Craig looks over. Bichara's about 16 years old. He's got spots all over him, right? He looks at me. I went, Craig, well done you. I said, I ordered this burger without the bun all these times. I said, that, mate, was spot on and perfect. He went bright red straight away. So I thought, okay, I got to back off this because he's getting a bit embarrassed. And I went, honestly, and I went to the manager, I said, that guy deserves a medal. I said, because I've been all over McDonald's, all over the country. I said, and they never get it right. Well done, Craig.
Well done, Tommy, for doing that.
And actually, everyone sort of looked around and everyone was like, oh, right.
It's a bit extra, isn't it? It's a bit extra.
It's like,
yeah, no, but if it was good service and if you're in that moment and you feel elated by it, Tommy,
I
think you've got to say it.
No, I'm sorry. He's a chef. He should be doing it the correct way.
No, see, that's what I mean. But if it wasn't right, I'd complain.
You sound like Roy Keane now. He's a footballer. That's his job.
Well, it is his job. And I'm sorry, but if you
he excelled at his job.
No, it's not excelling at your job. He constructed a burger correctly. I'm sorry, but we're not chefs. But I think if you put us in the kitchen, we would have probably done the same thing. Do it correctly.
Oh God, there's no pleasing him.
But all I can say is, from my track record,
use your brain.
That didn't. Craig deserves a big up. So
and also
Craig.
you doing that big up, honestly, it would have made him feel brilliant, because it happened to me, but in a reverse situation where I was out.
Someone
today.
cussed you out.
Huh? No. I was out today. Like I said, I've got a bit of a knee issue, so I'm not running full tilt at the moment. I'm like literally, I'm doing.
Well,
that
you are running at a bit of a tilt.
Yeah, exactly. But it's more like a fast, brisk walk I'm doing. So
do you do that speed walking when your tittle goes up and down? Can you do that?
Yeah, like yeah,
it's like that normally.
Yeah. So I was walking as a brisk walk today, and I did a shorter route. As I was coming round near my sort of where I live, there's the sort of it's not on my road, but it's the next road down basically, right? So I cut through there. As I was coming, there was an old man and an old woman who were coming out and getting into their car. And as always, I always smile at people when I'm walking, but obviously I felt like a bit of a plonker because I'm in my running gear, but I'm not really running. Do you know what I mean? And he went. So I was feeling quite paranoid about it anyway. And he goes,
we're doing big strides, big arms.
No, not big strides. No, just very fast, just a fast-paced walk, almost like a basic jogging kind of thing. And
like an auntie going to the buffet that's just opened up.
Yes, but subtly, you know, I'm not desperate for the food, but I'm going first.
But I am I want to get there early doors.
I'm going to be first on the queue. So he looked at me. And I smiled, and he pointed his finger at me, and he went, I'm disappointed in you. And I was all, what is going on here? Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's on my second street. And I went, oh, sorry, why? You know, and I was getting a little bit defensive.
You apologise.
Yeah, because I got a little bit defensive. And I'm like,
you know what Ked's like in public?
This guy's just jumped me on something.
Yeah, Ked's going to be all that.
Sorry, why?
Yeah, go on, yeah. And you say, sorry, why? And he goes.
And he went, because you're not running. And I went, what? And, you know, because I was getting so paro about it, he went, you're not running. He goes, every day I see you go past my house and you're running. He goes, today you're walking. And I went, and I started
checking you out, Ked.
He's been checking me out. And then his wife goes, she goes, yeah. She goes, why are you not running today? And then I had to tell him, I said, I've got a knee injury, la-di-da-da. I'm training for the marathon, but I said, I've overdone it, got a little bit excited, and I've got this issue. And they went, oh, we're really sorry.
Did they invite you in to watch them do things to each other?
No, they were on their way out, but they wished me luck. And I thought, you know what? But like you did, you bigged them up. They bigged me up. And I felt so good for an hour after that.
Hold on. What did they say to big? They didn't big you up. They didn't big you up.
Well, no. But they said, oh, good luck in the marathon and hope you get back. Come on, guys. They were nice.
That's not a big up.
It's not a big up.
I felt really bigged up after it, and I felt like, oh, that made my day. So I felt like, who's it? Jack, Charlie, Craig, that's the one. Yeah,
David.
I felt like Craig David at McDonald's because I was just boosted, even though I had a problem with my knee.
See, I have a problem when people compliment me.
Go on.
Is it?
What way?
I think we all do that, don't we?
I don't know.
If someone compliments you on DJing.
Yeah, I mean, it happens quite a lot. Like, I'm not trying to sound big-headed or anything.
Actually, it's funny.
No, it does. Well, you hear it from me.
I've got first-hand experience because obviously you did my wife's party only a few weeks ago, and everyone came up to me, and you were there for some of them, but I got so many more outside. They went, "Satch is amazing," and that's why I think we mentioned this on the podcast before. So I get that. So okay, so what do you do when they go, "Hey, you're a really good DJ"?
I don't know how to respond because what do I say? Do I say, oh, well, I feel a bit weird saying, oh, thank you, because that's a bit lame.
Then, thank you is a start.
Yeah, it is nice, and I do say that. I'm like, oh, thanks, glad you had a good time. That's what I kind of say. That's like the standard line. But then I'm like, do I feel like I have to give them my life story? I've been DJing since I was about 11, trying to learn how to mix two songs together.
Why do you feel like you have to give your life story?
No, but it's just because they want to know. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I tell you why. They've given you something. This is what it is. In that situation, in an exchange of compliments, they've given you an exchange which is like, hey, you're a really good DJ. And then you feel that if you just go, yeah, or thanks.
I know
that's a bit cold, and it shuts it down. And really what you're saying is you want to somehow reciprocate it with a bit more information or something, but you don't know what that something is. Like
what that is,
yeah, that's right. I should insure my hands or something. You want
that's a bit weird.
No, but I would feel the need to turn it into a joke. Okay, so people say to me like, oh, we miss you on the radio. I go, yeah, I miss me on the radio, right? Or something like that. Oh, yeah, we all, I'm a missable kind of guy. I turn it into a joke.
So does Shah Rukh Khan.
Huh?
So does Shah Rukh Khan, you should say.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I told you about Varun Dhawan. Have I already said Varun Dhawan? I interviewed Varun Dhawan this week for the other podcast, right? The first thing Varun Dhawan says, hey, Tommy. Sorry, he doesn't talk like that. Hey, Tommy. Varun Dhawan's voice. He went, that Desioki that we did went viral. I went, yeah, it did. So, and that, even then, that kind of makes me like, yeah, I know. They were good times. I know. Get over it. We're moving on to different times now. But, so you get people coming up saying things like that. But you're right. I don't know how to handle it. It's a bit of an awkward because you want to give something back.
Yeah. Without giving your life story away.
But you can't.
Have you ever been complimented?
No, I can't say I have.
He got told he walks really well, remember?
Yeah, I got told. But it's funny you talk about it because I've been chosen to actually talk about my life story, actually. So at work.
Shut up, you haven't.
Hang on a minute. I can talk about your life story. I think I know plenty about you now.
Well, you too could. But it's Asian Heritage Month that they're celebrating at work. And I've been selected Asian Heritage Month
at Virgin Radio.
No, at the whole company. So it's just Virgin Radio is part of it, but it's like the whole
mothership company.
The mothership company, yeah, wireless radio, which owns all the So it owns all of the radio stations, and across all of actually even the newspapers as well, and so they
Asian Heritage Month. That's what it's called.
Yes,
AHM. Is what it's called for short.
We exist. We're here. And they just want yoga. But basically they want to just showcase, where Asians are in the company and what they're doing and how they're doing and all of this kind of stuff. And
all three of you. You two and one other.
Honestly, literally.
No. Sorry, I didn't get the call. No,
Satch is not full time. But that's why. But there's literally three of us who have to now address the.
No, but what do you have to say? Address what?
They want to know how I got to this point in my career.
Oh, that'd be a great. I want to come in on this talk.
Kedge, don't tell them everything, mate. There's one part that you should leave out completely.
How I got this far in my career.
Yes, because they can't believe it. They can't believe this geezer's got this far. That's what it is.
This guy has fluked it.
That's a bit weird. You wouldn't do English Heritage Month
Yeah,
and
I
ask
think that's
a
No,
white person how they got.
It is celebrating diversity. It's just trying to encourage diversity in the company and stuff like that. So, it's trying to throw the spotlight on, obviously, the slightly lesser sort of, minorities in the company.
Represented.
So, yeah.
And I suppose, it sends a message out that, come on, diversity is important and all those things. Okay, I get that. So hold on, Kedge. I'm worried now. I'm worried because I don't know what you're going to say. I'm worried because, you've got a responsibility here to project something positive about brown people to non-brown people.
I've got to really
you've got to get that message right.
I've got to really prep it. I mean, and I don't know if I should say that, I applied to TalkSport so many times, but you didn't think I was good enough. I don't know if I should add that bit into it, because I did, and I could have absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, but maybe you aren't good enough. So that makes sense.
I wasn't given a chance.
No, well, they say you went in your Spurs outfit, didn't you, to the interview? So
yeah,
I wouldn't give you a job either.
That might have been it. But yeah, so I just thought it would make you guys laugh. I just thought I've got to go and deliver that, and I'll as I get closer, I will. Can we get
a recording of this speech that you do, please?
Can we get tickets?
You wouldn't be? Can you be part?
I might come into the office that day, Kedge.
I need to get back into radio. Maybe I could come and attend. I could work out if I can hear from someone like you, Kedge, who's inspirational to tell me how to make it in radio. That would be great. Yeah, I might pick up some pointers. You know what? Can you imagine sitting there, Satch, and hearing him kind of going, "Oh, and then I overcame these obstacles." We'd be dying. We'd be dying on the floor.
And then I was told not to celebrate any successes at the BBC because celebrating and shouting was frowned upon.
No, okay, you have to explain that now. You can't just say that. It wasn't.
No, we've explained that. We've explained that story many a time on the thing. It was.
I don't know if we have.
I think we have.
Okay, well, I'm going to do it again because I feel like I don't remember it. I don't remember anything. So it was after we did something amazing on the radio. We had a live session in which went really well.
It was a live Love Friday mix.
Yes, a live Love Friday. When Navin Kundra sung everything, and it was an idea that we'd had, and we've been prepping it for a long time. And Navin actually smashed it. Did really well, and it went down really well. We got loads of messages about it, loads more than normal. And then it was 10:01. The show's over. The doors closed in the studio, and Kedge, in only the way that Kedge knows how, F some blinds about how brilliant it was. He goes like, F me, that was effing fantastic. Oh my effing this, right. All of that. Little does Kedge know the doors open behind him because these are silent studios, heavy, quiet doors.
Yeah.
And the boss has walked in and he stood behind Kedge while you went down. I think you squatted down at one point and started doing like dancehall rhythm kind of dancing.
Yeah,
like,
I was squatting, I was jumping, it was all going.
Like actually no different from like a Pep Guardiola or a Jurgen
on the
Klopp.
touchline with the winning goal.
And me and Tommy kind of saw what was happening behind him and just we didn't do anything.
You guys weren't moving and I was like, God, why are you guys giving it such dryness?
No, because it was our little win, and then all of a sudden management walked in, and with management you've got to kind of go, yes, it went really well, and I think it worked for these reasons, and you've got to break it down. You can't just go, come on, that was amazing. You can't do all that, which is what you were doing, and then you were told the words you were told by the manager was, that's not the behaviour of management material, or something like that, wasn't it?
Team leader
material. Yeah, and you shouldn't be, and you were quite adamant.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it was either. So I agree.
Shut up.
Yeah, and I think they were right. Them and TalkSport, they're definitely onto something. So, I would love to. Anyway,
they'll never know.
I want to attend and hear what you've got to say about life. That'd be great.
Well, I can sell you some tickets on the black market as and when it's announced the actual date. But what have you learned this week?
Well, actually, can I do like a part 1 and a part 1B? And actually, the 1B bit is the main bit. This is the thing I actually learned I was going to say. But what I've just realised, I'm 45. I am definitely turning into my dad. There are things that now get my go. And I think it's because, also, don't forget, I've given up booze. So my kind of frivolous, carefree, let's just get a bit drunk, be a bit silly, that's not in there.
I could have told you that a few years ago.
Since I've stopped drinking, you mean?
Turning into your dad.
Oh, yeah. And what I mean by turning into my dad, I think my dad's probably more fun than I am. I mean, I'm turning into someone who's just looking around at the world and getting disappointed or wound up or frustrated.
Oh, he's there again.
Yeah,
and to be fair, just to look at Kedge, his dad's the opposite to him. Kedge is like the dad.
Kedge's dad is so cool. He's so laid back, honestly. And he's so easygoing.
Kedge is like the grumpy old man.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, nothing like you.
And actually, in fairness, I've got to say, my dad has definitely got more chilled out now as he's got older. He's way more relaxed than I am.
Your dad's a funny guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I was on the train, and there was somebody. The train was busy, tube, and somebody was sat there with a rucksack on the seat next to them, while other people were stood all around them. As soon as if I've got my bag on the chair, and sometimes I have my bag on the chair on long train journeys, only because it doesn't fit overhead. I don't want it in that little cabin area. But if someone comes, I can move it underneath the chair. But I sometimes want to get my charger leads in and out of it, so I keep it in the chair. I thought if it gets busy, and I'm conscious, as soon as the doors open, I'm looking to grab that bag and move it. This person sat there with their bag on the chair next to them, looking around at everybody else around them with no care, NFG as we would say, for other people. And that's kind of stuff. I know I'm getting old. It upsets me now. I'm like, how can you?
Yeah, but Tommy, sorry. I mean, for us to understand this story, we have to understand the makeup of this train. What was the configuration of the seatage?
Oh, she was sat on a 2 facing another 2. Yeah.
So table in the middle. Table in the middle.
No. This is underground, so there's no table.
Okay. So Bakerloo.
And I think it was Metropolitan Bakerloo. Yeah, one of those ones. Yeah.
Right. So it's a 2 and a 2 facing. She had a bag next to her.
Yeah, and her back is against a bit of the glass, and the doors on the other side of it. So there's people stood all in that lobby area by the doors.
Oh,
and then down and down the aisle. And I'm sat diagonal from her across the aisle, right, facing her, so I can see the bag, see her.
The thing is,
and see all the people stood in between us.
I think the thing is, because you're not a frequent traveller on the underground nowadays.
No,
this is kind of the rules are now that you leave a gap between you. So even if it's a 2-seater, you don't sit next to that person on a 2-seater like that. And so,
is that official? Is that the rules?
I don't think it is.
It's not a rule, but it's kind of how
Have
it's
you made
done.
that up?
No. This is like, when I travel on the overground train at the moment, if there's 2-seaters, two seats, you just go, one person goes in it, and then the other chair, you don't go next to them. And
well, hold on, what if the train's busy?
Well, in the morning it's not busy, so that's doable. And then as it slightly gets busier,
yeah, I wouldn't say on an empty carriage you should go sit next to somebody. That's weird.
No. But what I'm trying to say is, when there's more people, it's still kind of, well, actually, it's frowned upon if you're the guy who goes and sits in the empty seat between the 2 people.
I think it's more frowned upon if you just leave your bag on a chair while other people are stood. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, COVID has changed things, so I think the train etiquette has changed. So you can't be your dad about it. I'm sorry.
My problem is, Kedge, I think you're lying, and I think you're just making stuff up because you like a bit of distance on the train. That's all it is. Yeah. So I think you just don't like people up in your space. But anyway, the thing I learnt though, was because, on India Day, we're celebrating all the different states, and there's little phrases being said in Gujarati or in for all the Kerala for the South Asian states, it was in Marathi, and things are being said in all these different kind of dialects of language. And then I saw the phrase for Rajasthan, which is "Welcome to my land." Do you know what they say for Rajasthan? Welcome to my land.
Welcome to my land. Go on.
Padaro mare desh. Padaro mare desh.
Padaro is the word.
My pad is coming, so hit it across my land. Padaro mare desh. That's great. I thought
Padaro means.
I mean, there's no other way to greet you than to fart on your land.
Yeah. So you're saying Padaro, but I guess because Padaro must mean welcome. Mare, like
Padaro means come on down, come on in. Padaro, like dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, because that's what the pad does. The pad does come on down Padaro. And come on out. So Padaro mare desh. That is the Rajasthani phrase for welcome to my land. They're just basically having a big old shagufta for when you get to Rajasthan. I love it. Royalty. So royal welcome.
Well, I'm going to go next with my things I learned, because it's kind of connected to your half of the things that you learned about the train situation. And that is that, this thing about how people like to try and sort of stay away from people and not necessarily sit next to people because of COVID issues. There has been a survey that's been done by scientists, researchers. They've got together to find out which part of the train carriage are you less likely to get COVID.
Go on then. Let's have it.
And that is basically
driver's cabin.
No. Stay at the ends. Always go at the end of the the train carriage, because there's more chance of vents happening there, because obviously you've got the pull down window and the door opening, which brings more vents in. Whereas in the middle of the carriage, that's where the COVID soup starts really bubbling over and boiling over. And I thought that's a bit of intel that I think people need to know. But now that I've said it, that means everyone's going to be standing on the sides. So don't do that, because that's where I stand.
Yep.
Actually carry on standing on the middle. Don't listen to anything I said. I haven't learned anything this week.
You're a little bit, you know what? You're a little bit spooked this week by the resurgence of COVID in France, which is a country really close to England, for anybody who doesn't know.
Just across the channel.
Yeah, just there. And so you're a bit, cause that, and now the talk of the carriages and saying, oh, you got to keep a distance from people, and it's okay to keep a bag on the chair because you don't want to get too close.
Spooked, but I just think
no, you are.
You know, I'm always the producer in this, and I always look for the obstacles and bumps that are on the way that people are not looking out for, because you're too busy worrying about the now and
having
focusing
a good
on
time,
that, which is fine. But there needs to be someone who's there with the binoculars, you know, just always looking ahead.
Yeah. You're saving the nuts for the winter, and we're just kind of going, hey, who wants to eat nuts?
Yeah,
we're
just enjoying. You're enjoying now, but I am looking forward to seeing that you'll be able to enjoy the next few months.
And that's what makes you so much fun.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Thank you. No, but okay. I hope you're wrong. I hope you've got nothing to worry about in the nicest possible way. You know,
Yes, of course.
I don't think we can handle more nonsense like that. Satch, what you learned?
And the thing that I learned is about something that they're telling to Badara all over, and that's is Wimbledon, because it's back on.
It is back on.
And the fans are in there, which is quite good to see. And the thing that I saw is quite an interesting little fact that I saw when I was reading something on the plane last night, and it was about Wimbledon. And it's that they use 54,250 balls in the competition.
Oh. Wow, that is a lot, because they keep changing them, don't they?
They change them.
To have those tennis balls.
They change them between every 7 to 9 games.
Yeah, new balls, please. I love that.
And did you know that they keep them in a refrigerated container, so your ball's actually cold?
Yes, I heard about that.
Nice, fresh, cold balls.
But
over
54,000.
Have you noticed the bounce when they bring out the new ones? The bounce. I'm just thinking, imagine if we had them while playing cricket. Yeah. My God, it'd been brilliant.
Lovely. I think that's amazing. And to be fair, another thing that I read afterwards was you can actually pick up 3 official balls from Wimbledon after the game is finished. 3 balls for £2.50, and I thought that's a good little souvenir.
I'd do that.
Yeah,
I would absolutely do that.
You think that there'd be scientists somewhere right now working on balls for the future and how to make them bouncier, looking at what it is in them. I wouldn't have a clue about stuff like that. Someone said to me, I'll pay, you know what, I'll put a gun to your head or I'll pay you £1 billion. Can you make this ball bouncier for 10 years time? I'll go, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask someone else. I'd
shoot me now.
Yeah. Or, you know, like when people say sometimes like,
don't you remember stuff like that in physics?
No.
What though? What to make a ball bouncier? What? Where do you
materials?
Start? The furry bit
hollow,
or the bit?
You know.
Yeah, we know it's hollow. I know you're going to fill it with chutney, am I?
Well, knowing you'll probably just put the burger without the bun inside it.
Well, I mean, whoever makes the most bounciest ball, I'm sure Tommy will go and congratulate them like he did with this crate.
I will.
Exactly.
I'll give a little big up. It's like when people say, oh, you know, if you could rewind time, what would you do? I go, oh yeah. People say, and I'll have friends say, oh, I'll go back and I'd invent the iPhone before Apple. I say, bruv, I couldn't even invent the screen. I couldn't even invent the glass bit. I wouldn't even have to make that.
Did I tell you I met the guy who invented the iPod and the iPhone? I met the guy, and I just.
It's not one guy. It's not one guy.
No. There's one.
He's lied to you, Kedge. You've been fooled.
No.
He's fooled again.
He's got a book coming out. This guy invented the iPod first, and then he was on the team that invented the thing. Obviously, he himself said it was the team. He doesn't want to take the credit for it. But I just was like,
where was he from? Wembley.
American.
Kamal Khan.
Right, I've had enough of this. I'm leaving now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, as always. Good podcast. Great. And listen, can I quickly just read out a couple of messages? Only because this one particular message was super lovely. I sent it on to you boys. I actually screenshotted it, and we don't
Thank
do
you
that
to the
with
reviews that we've had. We have some new reviews as well on the podcast, on the Apple app, which is very nice.
that helps, by the way. If you haven't reviewed it on Apple, Like, or on whatever the platform you are. Just hit
on Spotify, you can give it 5 stars. Obviously, there are other stars that you can give, but you'd only want to give 5. And the same on Apple, and you can leave a little review, which I think you should.
Yeah. Okay. And I get quite a few of these messages, and weirdly, again, I don't know what's happened. Maybe people are getting back into work, so they're back into listening to podcasts again. But I think we've all noticed there's been a real resurgence of messages coming into us, which is lovely. And it's honestly, it boosts us up and it makes me want to keep on doing this, because sometimes I don't want to do it. Quite frankly, on a Tuesday night, I just want to watch TV and catch up on Westworld, which I haven't seen, by the way. Don't tell me about Westworld yet, Kedge. Have you seen yesterday's one?
I've seen it. It's just.
That's what.
All I'm saying is it's another headache for the next 8 weeks.
Love it. It's a headache I welcome. But this Mr. G, let's just call him Mr. G on Instagram, one of the loveliest messages I think I've ever read. He says lots of lovely things to me. He goes, "You're looking good these days. Thank you very much." And then he says, "Can I say a quick word about your brown loading?" I love the fact, right? I've got to say, this is Mr. G's words. Got to say, this is literally the only podcast I've ever listened to, and it's because of you. I get much of my wisdom from your weekly show. Well, not all wisdom, but
love it.
But you know what I mean. He goes, "It's a great show. I mean, well put together, plenty of laughs, and I mean plenty. As a listener, that's all I want. I just want to get away from all the other stuff and just have my time, and this gives me just that." He then goes and say, "Honestly, I just need more of it. I try to stack up the shows, so sometimes I get to listen to more as I'm cycling, running, and gardening." So I guess this is a thank you for working on it as you do. It's definitely about putting the effort in, and I'm sure your sidekicks, that's what he calls you to, they're more than that. Yeah, I'm sure your sidekicks also must work hard. He's put Kelaji actually and Sachimuchi. Kelaji and Sachimuchi. Much love to you, brother, and to your family, and to the kids. You are very much like our family. How nice.
And very quickly, also on the message, I think the last week we've had the most messages that have ever come through with the video that we put up
loads.
about the talking bin. And I want to pick up everyone that messaged that about
there was
that
a lot
video.
of love for the talking bin video.
Yes.
Brilliant. Listen, look, it's great. It's, we are just free, regular brown boys just having a chat. And sometimes people think, "Oh, do you talk about Asian stuff?" I'm like, "No, not really." "Oh, do you talk about like Western stuff?" No, it's just kind of whatever. It's just our life. And I think that's what podcasts allow us to do. Just kind of go, this is just us. And I'll be honest, this chat, I always say this now, is how we chat when we're not on air as well. If anything, it's probably just a few more gala in the off-air ones. But other than that, the topic's exactly the same. So thank you for sharing it. Please do tell your friends. And every time I mention it on stages and that, and people come up and they go, "You got a podcast? How did I not know about that?" I'm like, "Salio, I've put it on my social media for the last 3 years. It's everywhere. We've been talking about it. We had Sony, we had this, we had that." So please spread the word and tell your friends about the brown load. That'd be lovely.
Big somebody up like Tommy did, because I think that's well nice.
There you go. Yeah, give him a little big up. Share the love. That's it. Go spread it. No, look, we've put it out there now via the podcast. It'll ripple on. It'll ripple on out to the rest of the world. So that's all good things. It's all good energy. Right, boys. Until next week. Have a good one. Laters.
Laters.